Attention passionate Philadelphia, EAGLES FANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Philadelphia Eagles' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Philadelphia Eagles fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Philadelphia, EAGLES FANS. Let's get to the news. Now folks, if you're really paying attention to what's happening in the NFL this offseason, especially with our beloved Eagles, you've probably heard some whispers, some rumors that might seem minor at first glance but could have huge implications for the upcoming season and beyond. It's all about roster moves, player futures, and strategic decisions that could reshape the division, and maybe even the conference. And one name that's floating around in the NFL rumor mill, surprisingly, is A.J. Dillon. That's right, Dillon, the former second-round pick who signed a one-year deal with the Eagles this offseason, might be on the chopping block before the 2025 season even begins. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Wait, Dillon, isn't he supposed to be part of the plan? Well, the truth is, things are always more complicated behind the scenes than they appear on the surface. According to a recent report, there's some credible speculation that the Eagles could end up releasing Dillon and placing him on the practice squad. Why would they do that? Well, it's all about depth and future planning. Philadelphia has a pretty stacked backfield right now, especially behind Saquon Barkley, who's clearly the unquestioned starter. But here's the kicker. Dillon's future with the team isn't set in stone, and there are other factors at play. For one, the Eagles are keen on building a sustainable, long-term running back core. Yes, Barkley is the man now, and he's signed a contract extension that keeps him in Philadelphia for the foreseeable future. But just like in many NFL teams, planning for the distant future is crucial, especially when you consider Barkley's age and the recent rumors about his potential retirement in the next 2 or 3 years. But don't let that worry you too much. The Eagles are smart, they're aware of the ticking clock and are already thinking ahead. They've got young talent on the roster, and one name in particular has been turning heads in OTAs and minicamps, Will Shipley. This rookie from Clemson has been impressing coaches and teammates alike, showcasing explosiveness, vision, and a real ability to catch the ball out of the backfield. The coaching staff is high on him, and he's quickly emerging as a serious contender to be Barkley's primary backup. That's a game changer because, historically, the Eagles have been cautious with veteran running backs, but they also want to maximize their roster's flexibility. Now, let's take a quick pause here, just for a second. If you want the YOUTUB algorithm to keep recommending the latest Philadelphia Eagles news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. So back to Dillon. Originally drafted in 2020 out of Boston College, he came to the Eagles with high hopes after some promising seasons in college. Unfortunately, injuries hampered his progress, and last season he was coming off a season-ending injury, hoping to rebound with the Eagles. But with Shipley's emergence, and the team's focus on developing young talent, Dillon's chances of sticking around as a key part of the roster are diminishing. And here's where it gets interesting. If the Eagles decide to release him, he could become a hot commodity on the market. They might see him as a cost-effective backup option, especially for teams looking for depth at running back without breaking the bank. In fact, one team that makes a lot of sense when you consider their current situation is the New Orleans Saints. Alvin Kamara's future with the Saints is uncertain at best. He's aging, coming off some injuries, and there's already chatter about him possibly requesting a trade. The Saints are at a bit of a crossroads. They have Cam Akers, Kendre Miller, and other younger backs, but adding a veteran like Dillon could be a smart move to keep the competition alive. Remember, the Saints have traditionally valued smart, versatile backs, and Dillon's running style fits that mold. If he hits the market before the season kicks off, they should seriously consider bringing him in on a 2-year deal, even if it's a minimum contract, to add depth and competition. Meanwhile, across the NFC, the Dallas Cowboys are also watching these developments closely. They've got a talented roster, but are still trying to find stability at the running back position. drafting Jadon Blue was a move to bring fresh blood, but he's unproven at this level. Miles Sanders and Javonte Williams are expected to play significant roles this season, but durability remains a concern. The Cowboys might look at Dillon as a potential RB3, someone who can step in if injuries strike, or if they want to give their starters some rest. Given the evolving nature of NFL backfields, teams like Dallas are always scouting for affordable veterans who can contribute immediately and have the ability to develop over time. And let's not forget the Los Angeles Chargers. They're also in the mix when it comes to filling out their backfield. After taking Omarion Hampton in this year's draft, they're still trying to figure out who will be their go-to guy behind Austin Ekeler. As Ekeler ages and the team looks to balance short-term success with long-term planning, adding a player like Dillon as a backup could be a smart move. He's experienced, versatile, and could help the Chargers in multiple ways, whether on special teams or as a rotational back. But here's the thing, Dillon's situation isn't just about what other teams might do. It's about the bigger picture of NFL roster building in 2024. The league is more competitive than ever, and teams are constantly looking for that hidden gem, that affordable veteran who can step up in a pinch. Dillon, with his size, speed, and experience, fits that profile perfectly. If he becomes available, expect a bidding war among teams needing depth and flexibility. The NFL is all about adapting quickly, and the teams that can spot these opportunities early usually come out ahead. Now, circling back to the Eagles, it's important to remember that their core focus remains on winning now. They've assembled a talented roster capable of competing at the highest level, and they're always balancing the present with the future. The signing of Barkley, the development of Shipley, and the strategic moves in the backfield all point to a team that's planning ahead while trying to maximize their chances right now. They're not just thinking about 2024, but also about the next 5, maybe even 10 years. That's why decisions like whether to release Dillon or keep him on the practice squad are so critical. They're part of a bigger chess game, one that involves cap space, player development, and long-term sustainability. And speaking of long-term planning, the Eagles have historically been smart at drafting and developing talent. Look at how they've transformed their roster over the years, turning mid-round picks into Pro Bowl players, and turning around their defense to become one of the league's best. It's a testament to their organizational philosophy, build for the future while competing for championships in the present. So, any move involving Dillon should be viewed through that lens. Are they just cleaning house, or are they making room for a new wave of talent that could be the backbone of their next Super Bowl run? Meanwhile, fans are buzzing about what this means for the team's depth chart, especially at running back. The position has become more than just a role of pounding the ball. It's about versatility, catching out of the backfield, blocking, and even contributing on special teams. The Eagles have been known for their balanced attack, and their coaching staff is always looking for players who can do multiple things well. That's why Shipley's performance has been so promising. He's not just a runner, he's a weapon in multiple facets of the game. Dillon's experience and physicality could have fit well into that scheme, but if he doesn't make the roster, the Eagles will shift their focus to their younger talents and plan for the future. And let's not forget the broader context of the NFL in 2024. The league has been evolving rapidly, with offenses becoming more dynamic and defenses constantly adapting. The running back position, traditionally seen as a bell cow role, is now more about committee approaches and situational usage. Teams want backs who can be reliable in short yardage, effective in the passing game, and intelligent in their blocking assignments. Dillon, with his size and pass-catching ability, ticks many of those boxes. But with the depth the Eagles now have, his role might be limited unless he can prove he's still got that extra gear. And speaking of proving himself, the upcoming training camp and preseason will be critical for Dillon. It's where roster spots are won and lost, and players like him will need to showcase not just talent, but also adaptability and team chemistry. The NFL is a league of opportunities. Sometimes a player's career can be completely reshaped by one good camp, one solid game. For Dillon, it's about seizing that moment, proving that he can still be a valuable asset, whether in Philadelphia or elsewhere. In the bigger picture, NFL teams are also keeping an eye on the market conditions and the financial aspects. The salary cap, the ability to maneuver it, and the availability of veteran players on cheap contracts. These are all factors that influence whether Dylan gets another shot or ends up on a practice squad or even out of the league. It's a delicate balance, and the Eagles are known for their smart cap management and roster flexibility. They might see the value in keeping Dylan around as a practice squad player, developing him further, or they might decide to cut ties and let him explore options elsewhere. Overall, what's happening with Dylan is just one piece of a much larger puzzle. The NFL offseason is always filled with whispers, strategic moves, and surprises. For the Eagles, it's about staying ahead of the curve, making smart decisions, and building a roster that can not only compete but also sustain success over the long haul. They've proven they can do that before, and fans are eager to see how their offseason plans unfold. The NFC East remains one of the most competitive divisions in football, filled with talented teams like the Cowboys, Giants, and Washington Commanders, all vying for supremacy. But the Eagles, with their rich history, passionate fan base, and strategic approach, are always in the mix, aiming for that next Super Bowl title. And let's be honest, every Eagles fan out there dreams about seeing their team hoist the Lombardi Trophy again. That's what drives this franchise: years of resilience, iconic players, unforgettable moments, and a relentless desire to win. The decisions made in this offseason, including how they handle players like Dylan, are all part of that quest. Fans are watching closely, analyzing every move and speculating about the future. That's the beauty of being an Eagles supporter. Your passion fuels the team's journey. And no matter what, the next chapter is always just around the corner. So, in the end, whether Dylan stays, goes, or finds a new home, what's clear is that the Eagles are continuously evolving. They're balancing current success with future readiness, and that's what makes them one of the most exciting teams to follow in the NFL today. Their coaching staff, front office, and players are all committed to that goal, bringing a Super Bowl back to Philadelphia. And fans, you are an integral part of that journey, cheering, supporting, and believing in this team every step of the way. The NFL offseason may be filled with rumors and speculation, but one thing remains certain. The Philadelphia Eagles are always in the hunt, always pushing forward, and always dreaming of another championship. And now, Philadelphia Eagles fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Philadelphia Eagles. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Philadelphia Eagles news.